Like as a goalie playing in front of an offense like this, how much more confidence does that give you?
Yeah, I feel like, especially lately, like we've been able to score in the first period, give one or two goals there, and like I feel like that helps a lot. And yeah, overall, like guys are even not like having too many shots in the game, we're still able to like score on the power play and stuff like that. So it's been a good start so far.
Yeah, well, what's just the confidence level of this team compared to maybe when you came in last year? What's the biggest differences that you've seen so far?
I think we got lots of depth. I think we can play with 4 lines and 3 deep pairs. I think that's tough to match up as the opposite team. I think you can see the power play's working well. Like Ville said, I think we're starting off good. I think our compete is on another level every game. I think the confidence in the group, in the locker room is high right now, and we know how good we can be when we play on our own level.
You've been on some good teams. I mean, is you just natural, I guess, if you win more, the confidence level just grows and it's just gets that much better, or what?
Yeah, for sure. When you realize when you beat good teams, and you beat teams that maybe you're not on your best, but you trust that you just keep doing the right things, you're going to win the games. It doesn't matter what the score is. Like you said, the last couple of games we've been starting really good. We've been up, but I think we have the trust. Even if we're down, we can come back and win games.
What have you noticed about Patrick Kane just a little bit? Do you had him in practice, or are you wanting to get?
I mean, he can still score. He can, yeah, he's a good player. One of those like superstars, kind of. Playing against him a couple times. So as a goalie, you always gotta be aware of him. And yeah, he's been great in practice. He's working hard, and hopefully we get to see him in action soon.
Olli, you played Patrick recently in Chicago and going up against him in practice, and having played against him for several years. Just talk about just what he can bring, just the challenges of defending it out of that.
No, I think he's an elite player in this league. I think he's shown that for many years now, and I think every time we've played against him, you have to know when he's on the ice and where he is. And I think there's only a couple of those in this league. And I think you can see the little while he's been here, I think he's just hungry to get back out there. He's excited to be playing hockey again. I think we're excited to see him out there. I think everybody's just first couple of practice kind of stopped and basically stared at him, handled the puck a little bit, because like it's been a while. I think most of us been watching him when we grew up watching him play, so I think it's just exciting times.
Ville, is it different with a 3-goalie roster as opposed to a 2-goalie roster? I know you experienced it a little bit last year. I'm not sure what St. Louis situation was like for you, but is it less practice time, more, or is it about the same?
Yeah, I mean, it's it's kind of same. Like you still in the practice. If you split a net with the other guy, like then you just stay out there for a little extra after and try to get the same amount of practice than like usual. So it's nothing like too much different, but just it's not the ideal situation. But I feel like we all 3 are pushing each other every day and try to be a better goalies every day. So I feel like it's a good challenge for all of us.
Olli, what do you think has been going well for this team defensively since the Sweden trip during this kind of hot run of form? And what habits, I guess, do you think go into good defensive performances for this team?
Well, I think even in Sweden, I don't think we played necessarily bad, to be honest. I think that trip could have been easily been 4 points, but obviously that's done. And after that, it's just kind of getting back. I think we've been really dialed in our details. I think we work really hard. We touched on it. Our starts have been great. I think that sets up our games. Game's really good. I think we're tough to play against when we play like that. We forecheck, we're on top of them. I wouldn't want to be on the other end if we played that way.
Derek, how does this affect Patrick's availability, just not having a practice as far as when he might play?
No, he's going to be available first tomorrow. So,
he will play?
Yeah, it was our, we're talking to him like the rest of our guys, pushing him hard. we thought it was in his best interest with the day today, like most of our guys. We'll get a full morning skate tomorrow, and he'll be in the lineup.
Will you put him with Comfer and Alex, or?
We'll probably start him with DeBrincat, with maybe a couple different centers. We're undecided on that yet, but I think we'll be smart in how we use him. I don't know if he's ready for a regular shift. I think we'll monitor it. We'll probably have a target minute-wise on what we want to do with him, but we'll get a feel, because obviously he feels really good, his body-wise, but it's just obviously a lot different, and it's just been difficult. He's joining us in a time when we just have a slew of games. We just haven't been able to practice as much as we probably liked, or as much as we had previously, so that's the way it's going to look for him.
How much of an advantage is it to have a guy he's played with in Alex that, they already know each other?
Yeah, I think so. There's a comfort level. There's an excitement for both of them, but I think you'll see a lot of different things, even on the power play. You'll see some power play time, but we might give them some different personnel on that too.
With on the power play, it gives you another option there in the half wall. And you got several options now. They enable you to kind of move people around and try different things.
Yep, of course. We'll definitely, obviously, another body, add some depth to our power play. I don't think it's a mystery. Our improved power play of late. I think we've scored 7 straight games. We're 6-1 in those. So it's been a positive for us, and hopefully you can add to it.
Hey Derek, how much of a jolt can this give you guys? I mean, it's Patrick Kane. I mean, do you think well, you guys are playing as well as you are, but now something like this.
Yeah, I just think, a lot of unknowns still there. So I think we'll be patient. We'll all be patient with it and kind of let it play out a little bit. I think the jolt has been the professional individual he's been around our group, and even passes the physical. We're in New York as a team, and he wants to be to New York. He gets to New York at midnight that night just to be with the group. Little things like that. I think it's been just a boost for him just being around our guys, but not only him being around the guys, the way he's been around our guys. He's been a really good teammate from the sidelines so far, and we're excited to get him in more.
For an offense, I think you're third now in goals for, and you don't have anybody in the top 20 or 25 in scoring. Just that balanced attack. How much more does that make it difficult to defend and to match up against?
Well, I think a big part of our success to date has been our depth. Depth scoring, that's, as you can see, the way I manage my minutes. Most of our forwards in any given night are under 20 minutes. I think it helps the rhythm of our group, and we're getting that balanced scoring throughout the lineup. Again, I think of all the positives we have had so far, why we're having the success we've had so far, I think the number one is the depth.
With Patrick, when you have a player who has such high hockey IQ, do you need line mates who can understand or think at
so.
that similar
That's all part
level?
of it, yeah. I think that's part of it. And again, like any player, no different than JT Comfer coming to us new this year, no different than Alex Brinkett, no different than the group of guys we had last year. We want to put these guys in position to succeed, and a lot of that will have to do with who they're playing with.
Are all your forwards available, or?
I think we're just going through a lot of hockey right now. We will have we have some guys nicked up, hence the maintenance day for most guys today. So I think we'll be able to find someone come out of the lineup, and I think it'll be more to do with where that individual is physically than per se maybe a healthy scratch.
Have you had a lot of those discussions just with Patrick Kane being added? Like, you're going to have to scratch someone on the days that he's playing?
Not yet. In our whole time, I think people understand that we have 12 forwards here, all playing very well. I think they know Patrick's going in, but we haven't, you know, even as in the closed doors of the coaches room, like, let's just get there. Things can change very quickly here. We're just playing a lot of hockey right now. We knew this December schedule and stretch was going to be difficult. We're in the midst of it right now.
Who's your goalie tomorrow?
Ville Husso will be in net tomorrow.
Derek, is Alex kind of making a statement here or making a run?
Yes, of
obviously,
course. I think Alex will find himself back in net, likely Saturday. We like to kind of play it day by day, have a routine where the goalies know the day before the game. But his play of late, his play again last night in Buffalo, I'd be surprised if it's not Alex's net on Saturday.
Alex talked about this a little last night about staying calm in those late game situations. What can you pull from the positives as well as stressing, you know, the keeping those games?
That's a great question because it has been a negative. You know, we've been finding ourselves in these leads of late, and these large leads. This just doesn't happen in this league with how much pairing, how competitive it is. There's no doubt there's some areas that we can manage much better. Just you're both kind of very similar where we still stayed on our toes. You know, we've had breakaways, chances to score. We literally could have put both those last two games, 5th, 6th, 7th goal, and put it away, but we didn't. And then there was a little undiscipline in our game. You can see NHL when it teams up, do not give the ref an opportunity to call something, and we've done a poor job of that. Like, we took some bad penalties yesterday to put ourselves in a really bad position, and it took a pretty gutsy effort down the stretch on 6-on-4 to get that win last night. So I think there's some growth in there, some learning. The good thing is we're putting ourselves in these positions, and we're getting some experience with it. Hopefully we continue to grow in there.
With the talk about experience, obviously you've added a couple guys over the last couple of years that have won the Stanley Cup. What about the value of those guys when you go through the grind of the season now and you're experiencing things like this? How much value do you get from those players?
Huge, absolutely huge. Look at someone like David Perron, JT Comfort, even Ben Sherratt, Jeff Petrie, having that run to the Stanley Cup a few years ago with Montreal. It's valuable. It's not all the time, not some of the time. Very, very valuable. I think you can see maybe a little more consistency in our game. I think comes from that experience.
On the subject of depth, with Andrew Kopp and JT Comfort running their own lines in the last little bit, how have you seen that sort of recondition your forward group?
I think the depth has allowed us to do different things. I know just coming out of the European trip, again, disappointing. We take 1 point on the trip, and we went to the blender a little bit, and I think it had a little more to do with adding Joe Villano and Michael Rasmussen with some different players, putting them on the wing, just to give some little more north-south hockey to those groups. And with doing that, it kind of gave us the three centers up the middle with Larks, JT, and Kopp, and it's been effective. It also made us ask Fish to play center, which he's done in the National Hockey League, but not of late, and then they've done great. Obviously, we've got some pop from it. So, I just think the added depth has given us some opportunity to do some things like that, and obviously right now it's working.